Welcome back to the channel where we explore powerful ideas, future-shaping technologies, and the truths that most people are too afraid to talk about. Today's video is going to challenge how you think about your career, your future, and even your identity. Because according to AI safety expert Dr. Roman Yampolskiy, the world is changing faster than most people realize, and by 2030, many of the jobs we consider stable, prestigious, and secure may no longer exist in the way we know them. Dr. Roman Yampolskiy is a computer scientist, AI safety researcher, and professor who has spent years studying artificial intelligence, existential risk, and the long-term consequences of superintelligent systems. Unlike tech CEOs who sell optimism, he focuses on risk, unpredictability, and what happens when machines surpass human intelligence. And his warning is clear: automation will not just replace factory workers, it will replace accountants, lawyers, writers, designers, drivers, analysts, and even many programmers. But here's the deeper question. If AI can outperform humans in logic, speed, memory, pattern recognition, content creation, data analysis, diagnostics, and strategic planning, what remains uniquely human? What jobs cannot be automated? What roles survive in a world where intelligence itself becomes cheap and abundant? According to Dr. Yampolskiy's framework, only a small category of professions will remain truly secure. And in today's video, we are breaking down the only 5 types of jobs that are most likely to remain standing in 2030 and beyond. Before we dive into the 5 jobs, we need to understand why this shift is happening so fast. Artificial intelligence is no longer just automation of repetitive tasks. It is cognitive automation. Systems can write legal briefs, generate marketing strategies, compose music, design logos, diagnose diseases from imaging scans, create software code, predict financial markets, and even simulate human conversation at scale. Machine learning models improve continuously. They don't sleep, they don't demand raises, they don't experience burnout, and once deployed, they replicate infinitely at near zero cost. Dr. Yampolskiy argues that the real disruption is not gradual, it is exponential. An exponential change always feels slow at first, then sudden. By the time society reacts, the displacement may already be widespread. So if most knowledge work becomes automated, what survives? The first category is AI oversight and safety control. Ironically, the more powerful AI becomes, the more we need humans to monitor it. Dr. Yampolskiy has repeatedly emphasized the alignment problem, the challenge of ensuring AI systems act according to human values. Even highly advanced systems can behave unpredictably. Small misalignments at scale can lead to catastrophic outcomes. AI systems will need auditors, safety engineers, alignment researchers, and containment architects. These are people who design safeguards, monitor outputs, test for vulnerabilities, and anticipate emergent behavior. Why can't AI fully handle this itself? Because you cannot completely delegate control of an uncontrollable system to that same system. Oversight requires independent judgment. It requires accountability structures. It requires ethical reasoning rooted in human context. These roles will not disappear because the stakes are too high. Governments, corporations, and international bodies will require human-in-the-loop systems. There will be compliance regulators, AI ethicists, adversarial testers, and fail-safe designers. This does not mean the average programmer is safe. Routine coding is already being automated. But deep safety architecture, interpretability research, and alignment governance will remain essential. The second category is high-level human trust roles. Trust is emotional. Trust is relational. Trust is cultural. And trust is extremely difficult to automate completely. Think about leaders who inspire movements. Think about therapists who sit with trauma. Think about spiritual guides, negotiators, diplomats, and high-stakes advisors. In a world where synthetic content floods every platform, authenticity becomes rare, and rare things become valuable. Dr. Yampolskiy often points out that humans evolved in small tribes. We are biologically wired to respond to human presence. A perfectly simulated AI therapist may give flawless advice. But will patients feel the same connection? Will nations trust an algorithm to negotiate peace? Will voters accept AI presidents? High-level trust roles rely not only on competence, but on perceived humanity. CEOs, political leaders, crisis negotiators, top-tier coaches, and therapists may integrate AI tools. but their value will be amplified by being human. As deepfakes and generative systems become more advanced, people will crave verified human interaction. Verified human leaders become anchors in a sea of synthetic noise. The third category is physical world complex craftsmanship. Robotics is advancing, but the physical world remains messy. Plumbing in a 50-year-old building is unpredictable. Emergency repairs in disaster zones require improvisation. Construction sites change daily. Agricultural environments vary. Human dexterity, adaptability, and contextual awareness in chaotic physical spaces remain difficult to replicate. Fully skilled trades that require complex physical manipulation in unstructured environments may survive longer than white-collar jobs. Electricians, high-skilled technicians, specialized mechanics, robotics maintenance engineers, and advanced manufacturing specialists who handle unpredictable real-world variables are harder to automate at scale. Why? Because software scales easily. Hardware in the physical world faces friction, cost, maintenance, liability, and environmental variability. Ironically, someone who works with their hands in a complex physical setting may be safer than someone who works entirely on a laptop. The fourth category is creativity at the highest conceptual level. Yes, AI can generate art, music, scripts, and designs, but generation is not the same as original vision. At the highest level, creativity is not about producing variations, it is about setting direction. AI can remix, but who decides what matters? Who defines cultural shifts? Who identifies emerging narratives? Who chooses the story worth telling? Elite-level creative directors, visionary entrepreneurs, cultural architects, and world builders may remain relevant because they define taste rather than execute tasks. In a world flooded with AI-generated content, curation becomes power, originality becomes rare, human vision becomes premium. However, the average graphic designer producing routine, marketing material may not be safe. The safety lies at the conceptual apex, not at the production layer. The fifth category is governance and control over AI infrastructure itself. Ownership and control of AI systems will concentrate power. Those who design policy, manage compute resources, regulate deployment, and oversee global coordination will remain influential. Governments will need regulators. International organizations will require AI treaty negotiators. Corporations will require AI governance boards. Strategic military planners will oversee autonomous systems. This category is less about technical skill and more about authority and decision-making. When AI systems become capable of autonomous strategy, someone must set boundaries. Someone must decide deployment conditions. Someone must control kill switches. Dr. Yampolskiy has warned that if AI becomes superintelligent, control structures must be robust before deployment, not after. So the 5 surviving categories are AI oversight, high-level trust roles, complex physical craftsmanship, apex-level creativity, and governance of AI infrastructure. But here is the uncomfortable truth. These categories represent a small percentage of current jobs. Millions of roles may compress, merge, or disappear. So what should you do? First, move toward metaskills. Learn systems thinking. Learn adaptability. Learn how to learn. Second, integrate AI into your workflow now. The safest professionals will not be those who resist AI, but those who master it. Third, build human capital that machines cannot replicate easily. Emotional intelligence, negotiation, ethical reasoning, leadership presence. Fourth, consider physical world. Skills that involve unpredictability. Hybrid careers, combining digital intelligence with physical execution may prove resilient. Fifth, focus on ownership. Ownership of assets, networks, intellectual property, or infrastructure creates leverage beyond labor. Dr. Yampolskiy's message is not about fear. It is about preparedness. He does not claim every job will vanish overnight, but he emphasizes that intelligence automation is fundamentally different from previous technological shifts. The Industrial Revolution automated muscle. The AI revolution automates mind. And when thinking itself becomes cheap, value shifts to control, trust, creativity at the highest levels, and real-world complexity. By 2030, the question will not be whether AI can do your job, The question will be whether your role requires uniquely human responsibility. We are entering an era where many people may experience identity crises. Careers are not just income sources, they are social status, meaning, and structure. The deeper transformation may be psychological. If AI writes better than writers, codes better than programmers, diagnoses better than doctors, strategizes better than analysts, and designs better than designers, humans must redefine value. This could lead to massive inequality if adaptation is slow. It could also lead to liberation if managed correctly. But Dr. Yampolskiy consistently reminds audiences that the timeline may be shorter than we expect. So here is the final thought. Instead of asking which job is safe, ask which category you belong to. Are you building skills aligned with AI oversight? Are you cultivating trust and leadership? Are you mastering complex physical environments? Are you creating at a visionary level? Are you positioning yourself within governance structures? Because the future will not reward routine intelligence. It will reward responsibility, adaptability, and ownership. The world of 2030 will look familiar on the surface. Cities will still stand. Businesses will still operate. People will still communicate. But under the surface, intelligence will be automated at scale. And those who understand this shift early will not just survive, they will lead. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear it. The future is not something that happens to you. It is something you prepare for. The age of AI is here. The only question is whether you will be replaced by it or rise above it. I will see you in the next one.